What we will talk today is post sales. What happens when the customer has already bought from a buyer, right? So we have the buyer and we have the seller. So who has purchased Salesforce? The buyer or the seller?
Sir,
Buyers.
buyer.
Sir, both.
Hmm?
Buyer.
Sir, both.
Both seller and buyer has purchased Salesforce. What is the buyer doing with Salesforce? Hmm? So Salesforce is customer relationship management, right? For seller, who is the customer?
For seller, sir.
Who is the customer?
Seller, sir.
For the seller, who is the customer?
Buyer will be the customer.
Buyer will the customer. And who is the customer for buyer?
Sir, employee. Those employee.
Like, whose employee? Buyer's employee.
Basically, what we CRM actually what we do,
Hmm.
we will sell. We will buy a Salesforce, okay,
Hmm.
and we will create a Salesforce, whatever the create account, everything, and we
Hmm.
will give them the buyer give buyer to the account so that they can do whatever, because we will taking care of the entire part, because we will hand over them and
Who is
we will.
logging into Salesforce? The seller is logging into Salesforce or buyer is logging into Salesforce?
Sir, always seller will be the administration part
Hmm.
using login,
Hmm.
and buyer will be the user as a will be the user.
So seller is
No,
the admin and buyer is the normal user.
no.
That is what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Buyer means, sir, a company who will actually take will interested to buy a Salesforce account like that, and we will be the
Who is logging into the Salesforce system? Which people will log into Salesforce? Who will use Salesforce?
sir,
Buyer,
users means buyers. Yeah, users means
buyers
buyers.
will log into Salesforce.
Hmm.
Let's log into Salesforce. Let's see what buyer can do.
The seller log into Salesforce.
Seller is logging into Salesforce. Okay.
Actually,
So my
user
point was that that
user
seller will
user,
be.
user are logging to Salesforce.
Hmm?
User
Who are the
sales,
user? Seller side or buyer side? That is the
salesman,
question I'm
marketing
asking.
man. So
Who has purchased Salesforce? Who is using Salesforce? Buyer or the seller? That is a question.
Buyer, sir. Buyer will purchase the Salesforce.
Buyer will purchase Salesforce. Okay. Let's see what buyer will do in
So
Salesforce.
there is can I say, sir, two type of situation.
Hmm.
Like if I am a seller, I will purchase the license, Salesforce license, and we will give it to the buyer. I mean,
To the buyer. Okay. So now I am a buyer. I am logging into Salesforce. Are you seeing my screen, by the way?
yeah,
What will a buyer do here in Salesforce?
buyer will do like everything. Like I mean, we will give them the role,
Hmm.
not like the role hierarchy like that, so they
Hmm.
can use the
What will
Salesforce.
you tell me what he will do here in Salesforce? Give me
He
an
will check the
example.
he will check the lead, whether their company's employee are taking any sales or not. They can check the sales part opportunity like that.
So I am a buyer. I come into a seller or seller Salesforce instance.
sir, no sir. Seller
Okay.
is
I can see my competition's lead and everything, and my seller will be happy to give and show everything, right? What his business is all about, what are the other companies he's selling to.
sir. No sir.
No, not everything, sir. Not everything. That's why I saying that only one account we will give it to
How will
them.
he log in? What is the user? What is the profile for them?
So we have to create a user, sir.
Okay, create a user, then buyer will do what?
We will give them to set the permission, like giving the username and password, like that.
ठीक है, but what will he do in the Salesforce organization?
They will check their company's lead and details. Not everything we will
They
give
will
them.
check their company leader details.
Yeah.
So how will they do that?
So we have to
And
create a app.
what is his, why should he bother about a selling side? Why he's so sympathetic about the seller? Have you ever gone and checked what software your seller is using?
Nah, sir.
So what is the buyer going to do in Salesforce?
Okay.
The seller has its
So
org.
only seller person,
Hmm?
sir, only sales
Seller person
person
all use
only login the Salesforce.
Only
Salesforce.
sellers persons will use Salesforce, not the buyer person. That is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
I think not
No,
particular.
no, sir.
After sale, when any problem, any product issue, then that time using the buyer person.
Then buyer person will do what? Show me. What is the step?
স্যার একটু ইয়ে করছি স্যার, দীপাঞ্জন দা আমাকে টেক্সট করলো আপনাকে জয়েন মানে অ্যালাউ করতে। হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Dipanjan join করেছে?
হ্যাঁ আমাকে বললো যে এই তো জয়েন করেছে।
Dipanjan, who will purchase Salesforce, buyer or seller? Dipanjan join করেছে?
Oh,
হ্যাঁ
sorry,
শো
sorry,
করছে তো।
sorry, sir. It was on
বলো।
mute.
Who is purchasing Salesforce, seller or buyer?
So mostly seller, sir.
Why mostly? Who is logging into Salesforce? The buyer side is logging into Salesforce or seller side?
The seller side, sir.
Seller side is logging into Salesforce. Why not buyer side?
Buyer side did not have this CRM thing for buying or managing the broad products, because the seller needs to manage the customers, basically, whom he wants to sell, and the accounts and all other details related to the selling.
Clear হলো শুভবাবু?
ইয়েস স্যার।
CRM মানে হচ্ছে কাস্টমার রিলেশনশিপ ম্যানেজমেন্ট। Seller has customer, buyer does not have any customer. Why will a buyer log in into Salesforce? He has no business in seller side. Buyer যদি সেলারের সিস্টেমে লগ ইন করা শুরু করে দেয়, তো গেম ইজ ওভার। Seller side will stop tooth and nail to show any information to their buyer. রিবক টিসিএস কে কি কোড দিয়েছে কগনিজেন্ট কে জানাবে?
না স্যার, দ্যাটস ওয়াই স্যার আমি বলছিলাম কি দুখানা সিচুয়েশন ক্রিয়েট
তোমরা
করে।
দায়িত্ব নিয়ে বলেছো দু সাইডই সেলসফোর্স ইউজ করবে, সেলার এন্ড বায়ার। গোড়ায় গেল ফার্স্ট ক্লাসে এগুলো ডিসকাস হয়েছে যে কে সেলসফোর্স কিনছে, কে লগ ইন করছে। এখনো পর্যন্ত যদি এই কনসেপ্টটাই ক্লিয়ার না হয়, হু ইজ ইউজিং সেলসফোর্স, তাহলে তো মানে কিছু রিভিশন তো হয়ই নি। এবং এত বছর ধরে মানে এই 2-3 মাসের যা মানে লার্নিং হয়েছে সেটা নিয়েও আমার কোয়েশ্চেন্স আছে। এবার সেলার সাইড যে প্রোডাক্টটা ইউজ করছে ফর ম্যানেজিং দেয়ার কাস্টমার এন্ড সেলস, সেটা কি নাম? What is the name of the product? What we have seen so far, what is the name of the product? There is a SaaS product. SaaS আমরা ডিসকাস করেছিলাম,
Yes,
software as a service.
yes, sir. First class.
Which SaaS product is the seller using so far? আমরা এতদিন কি দেখলাম, যেখানে লিড থেকে কনভার্সন হয়ে অ্যাকাউন্ট, কন্ট্যাক্ট, অপরচুনিটি হয়েছিল, অপরচুনিটি ক্লোজ করেছিলাম, প্রথম ক্লাসে দেখিয়েছি, তাই না?
Yes, sir.
Which product is that?
Sir, Commerce Cloud, sir.
কমার্স ক্লাউড কি কোথায় কাজে লাগে?
Salesforce Commerce Cloud.
কিচ্ছু রিভিশন হচ্ছে না, জিরো।
Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, sir.
সেলস ক্লাউড খুব খারাপ অবস্থা, কিন্তু প্যাথেটিক অবস্থা, টু বি ভেরি অনেস্ট। প্রতিটা জিনিস ইউজ হয়েছে, মানে ডিসকাস হয়েছে ক্লাসে, প্রতিটা জিনিস। ফার্স্ট ক্লাস গিয়ে রিভাইজ করো। স্ট্যান্ডার্ড অবজেক্টস কল লিড, অপরচুনিটি, এই দুটো you only get with a SaaS product called Sales Cloud. এটা সেলসম্যানদের কাজে লাগে। তাহলে all the users who are salesmen, they are using Sales Cloud. When the deal is done, when customer has already purchased it, তখন customer can raise service request or post sales request. সার্ভিস মানে I have these problems, এটা আমি বুঝতে পারছি না কিভাবে ইনস্টল করব, কিভাবে ইউজ করব, আমার ব্রেকডাউন হয়ে গেছে, কমপ্লেইনস। ঠিক আছে? হাউ ডু আই ম্যানেজ দিস? ইজ অলসো কাস্টমার তো খালি বাইং পরে ভুলে গেলাম, কাস্টমারকে বললে তো হবে না। ইন দ্য মডার্ন টাইমস কাস্টমার রিলেশনশিপ মিনস হাউ, হোয়াট ইজ দ্য পোস্ট সেল সার্ভিস ইউ হ্যাভ গিভেন। প্রোডাক্টের ব্র্যান্ডিং তখনই হয় when you have a fantastic customer support. How to manage that? For that there is another object called case. এটা সেলস ক্লাউডে আছে, কিন্তু এলাবোরেট কেস ম্যানেজমেন্ট যদি পেতে হয় তাহলে জন্য সার্ভিস ক্লাউড কিনতে হবে। সেলস ক্লাউড হ্যাজ কেস অবজেক্ট, বাট কেস ম্যানেজমেন্টে আরো ডিটেইলিং যদি জানতে হয় তাহলে সার্ভিস ক্লাউড বলে একটা প্রোডাক্ট আছে, সেটা কিনতে হবে। ঠিক আছে? ক্লিয়ার? বোথ will be purchased by the seller. Buyer has no business here. Buyer is the customer. Salesforce is helping a seller build a very good relationship with buyer. Okay, is it clear? Okay. What are the different channels in which a customer can reach you? Give me some examples. Imagine yourself as the customer and you have, I don't know, you are using mobile phones, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Which company? I mean
Apple,
the network.
Airtel.
Airtel. If there is a problem in Airtel network, tower is not there, or is going slow, or chopping, there is a problem, what do you do? How do you
We call the customer service.
customer service?
Call the customer service.
So calling a customer service, that means phone is a channel of communication with your seller. Who is calling? Customer, right? You. What are other channels of communication? If you do not, you are getting, every time you're calling, you are getting a busy and
Mail,
it is
chat.
Sir, email.
Mail, chat.
mail.
Chat.
Mail can be a way of communication. What else?
Chat, sir.
Good. Can be a modern communication method. What else?
So nowadays we can also connect in social media via social media.
Social media.
Sure. Social channels. Agreed. What else? Anything else comes to your mind?
Sir, relationship manager.
That is basically this phone channel only.
So if that particular seller has dedicated stores, we can go in person and communicate it. Like for Airtel, we can go to stores.
That is basically customer service in some way. I am talking about the connecting channel. I am not talking about like how the service is getting provided.
Sir, ticketing tools, any kind of like in Airtel app, like we can.
How do you get a ticketing tool? Can you access the ticketing tool of Airtel?
No, sir. In postpaid, a few year back in Vodafone, their kind of ticketing tools previously installed.
You can raise a query, sir.
Query like that, but they will.
How do you raise a query?
So there is a lot of option over there. You can select that time, sir. I'm talking about it is around
Where,
2000
where you were raising this
Vodafone app. Vodafone app that time.
Vodafone app? That's fine. This app is basically a website only. It is giving you that mobile option. That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in website, how do you raise a query?
So there are dedicated portions where we can lodge a complaint or message. We can select from
It's
predefined.
a web form which you can fill up, right?
Yes, sir, yes.
You will
That's
say,
short.
this is the email ID, this is my phone number, and I have this problem, and you submit that form. Okay, so these are the different ways in which you can communicate with your seller. Right? There can be many more channels as we discussed. So a seller can reach out a customer can reach out a seller anytime using any of these channels. And the more channels you support, that means sellers can support, is better branding experience for a customer. If they say that we only support phone calls, there is no, you cannot send us a mail, you cannot send us a chat, you cannot connect us with social media platforms. I do not have a web form in my website. That's not a very good experience, right, for your customers. So the more the channels are required, these are all called channels of communication. So here, what the seller is doing, seller is telling the customer is telling the seller what problems they are having, and they're trying to connect with the seller to get assistance, right? All of these needs a ticketing tool. What is this ticketing tool? Shubhapam, we are talking about ticketing tool. What is
Uh,
a ticket?
Ticketing tool is like, sir, if I'm a user or customer,
Hmm.
so if I'm having any issue, so there is an option like suppose a form or any kind of website options. We can
Hmm.
select. We can raise a complaint over there, like escalating a problem. Suppose
Let's
we are
talk
not
one by one. I have a phone call.
okay.
I have a hot number, right? Toll free number or a normal
Yeah,
number. Wherein I call. One to
yeah,
one call. I don't know. Airtel, I think, has some special
yeah.
numbers. What happens? Where is the ticketing tool in picture?
No, sir. In phone, there is no ticketing tool over there.
Are you sure?
In phone, not sure, sir. Basically, if I'm a
If there
user
is
of
no ticketing tool, if the resolution is not solved today, and next day when you call,
yeah, we will get yes, sir. There will be a ticketing tool like whenever we are going to call someone regarding the problem. So we have the problem about the network. Like we are in Airtel, so somehow they will give a number like that. So this is your case number, and you will follow using your case number.
exactly. So there is a ticketing tool,
Yeah,
and the person to whom you called is basically using it.
yeah,
Clear? The
yeah.
same goes with mail. If you mail, they don't just reply back. Usually, when you mail to any support@airtel.com, they will immediately give you a case number. That there is a case created for you. This is the case number. We'll get back to you shortly. Have you done a mail to Airtel?
Not Airtel, sir. Several time done with the Mintra.
Anywhere you do that, you will get an auto-generated mail that will say this is your case number. We have logged your case.
Yes, sir.
That is again a ticketing tool. Either a human is doing it or automatic. There is some process of logging a case
What?
or creating a case. Case or ticket is both the same, no difference. In Salesforce, the same ticketing tool is basically case. Okay, now let's see this in action. So I will switch to an app which is called Service. This is usually part of either Sales Cloud bare minimum, which is case. But if you go for Service Cloud, you get a lot more functionalities on top of this. So here you see account, contact, and case. This is what we need. So let's see how a case works. So somebody called me over phone. Who is this user who is logging into Salesforce? Buyer or seller?
Sellers.
Who is using Salesforce?
Seller,
The sellers.
user.
Hmm?
Seller, user.
Seller user. Okay. That means Shubham has called Airtel, and Airtel employee is basically using it, or Airtel customer service is using this one.
Yes.
Clear? It is not Shubham logging in. Okay. Please be very careful of it. So when he's logging in, that person is saying that Shubham called via phone. So I will select phone. Case status can be, you can start from new, or you can say that I'm working on my case. What I will do, I will probably search for Shubham. I will search, if it's a corporate account, of course, I will go and search the account name. And I can fill other information, like there is a mechanical fault, what is the case reason, maybe he requires installation support. I can write detail about the subject line, some more details about the things. If there is a product which is in question, we can also add that, and then we save it. Right? Case created, you see, and you can also log calls. There is future calls which is coming up, everything. So this is basically a case, and you can also have multiple case comments. So you are working on this case. Case was created on this day. You can have case comments. He needs to be connected after it is. So this is how a case is created, and here is the automatic number, case number, which is getting created, and this is given up by the the person who is working your case, and they will say this is your case number. Next time you call, you let me know. If this person is not able to solve this problem, then what he will do, he will go and escalate this case to his boss. Yeah. So this is all manual, right? And then when the case is completely created, we have to enable close case, and this status can be created to close. Okay. Any questions so far? If I am not working on the case, I can shift this case ownership to somebody else. Maybe technical department has to handle this. So I will probably change this, and I will transfer this to integration user, another user. So transfer of case is quite often it is used. So now the case ownership is with another person. Okay. There is another version of this app which is called Service Console. Why that is required? Because your service people or call center people are not working on one case at a time, because there's a high volume of people with whom they have to serve, right? Have you ever seen that when they will say, can I hold your call on for some time, and they start playing music with your permission? Actually, have you seen this happen? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
You are put on hold, and then after 1 minute they will say thanks for holding, now we can proceed. So he had transferred or asked for any information from another person. He's waiting for that time. Will that person be doing nothing or taking a sutta break? No, it will not happen. What he's doing or she's doing is basically working another case by that time, maybe on chat, maybe on mail, some other channel. So in call center, the time is very, very critical. So there should not be any lean time which can be given to a customer. That is the reason this service console is more beneficial. Here you can work on multiple cases at the same time. You see all open cases. Now every tab is basically a different case, so I can jump into different cases at the same time. So service console is far more beneficial for the call center people. Here you see you can switch between, but usually it is always the case. And you'll get a one-stop solution for whatever you want to do on the case, right? The case details, the contact details, cases for the parent contacts. If there are multiple cases which has been raised for this person, every information you get on the fingertips, so that you can work on the case very fast, right? So there are two flavors of the same application, service app. Usually the tabular service app is never used. This will be used, service console, because this is faster to work. Okay. So this is how case is worked out. So this is a completely manual process, right? A case is created manually by the service provider. And there can be different channels. Right now, we saw that customer care representative. If there is a new case, which is basically a mail, right? Somebody sent a mail. So your case origin can be a mail, and you will search for which contact and account has done it, and then you submit that case. You create a case. Now the origin is mail. If there is a web form that got submitted, you can also create a case for that and so on. So, but this is whole manual. Can we do automation for this? Yes, you can. Phone call automation requires a separate product. We are not discussing it right now. So what we will require, we will see how the automatic case creation can be done for two channels. One is web form and another is email. So there are two things. This is for information. We are not getting into understanding in detail. So there is a web to case. Okay. What is web to case? Web to case is that if there is what you can do is that usually nowadays you will always have a require reCAPTCHA, but I have not enabled it. But case origin is web, right? What you can do is that when you enable web to case here, it gives you a HTML generator, and you can choose which fields of case you would require. Okay. Those are like bare minimum. You don't want a lot of fields, right? This might be internal fields also. You don't require them. So you will ask customer to fill up the contact name, email, phone, subject, and description. These 5 fields, and you will have probably your website, and then you can include reCAPTCHA. reCAPTCHA is basically making sure that there is not a bot which is filling up this form for you. Then you will be flooded with bullshit. So you basically go ahead and enable reCAPTCHA. reCAPTCHA, have you seen reCAPTCHA in action?
Many times, sir.
What is a reCAPTCHA? Give me the example.
Please select the traffic.
Yes, you will say how many cars are there in the picture.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That you have to do manually. So this
There's
is
a lot of panda over
the
there.
way in which system can identify that it's not a robot or a bot which is basically filling up the form, right? So for now, I will not use reCAPTCHA. So what it does is that it generates a HTML. You see, people who knows HTML, they will see that it's very easy. So there is a form which has this tag, and there is basically inputs. One of the input is hidden inputs. That is the org name. Org name this org, Salesforce org instance, and basically they return URL, which needs to be this is your website wherein it will return. And then there are basically the input box and there is submit box. Simple form. This is given away to your website developer, and this website developer will as is put this form, and they can introduce some kind of CSS or like CSS is used for formatting and stuff. So they will make it beautiful, and then they will use it. So there is no need for writing a single line of code for creating a automatic case in Salesforce. Just this form, if you put this in your website, automatically anybody who is filling up that form will create a case in Salesforce. Okay, very easy. One thing to remember is that if there is a validation for these input boxes which you have created in Salesforce, those validation needs to be programmed in JavaScript. Okay, that will not automatically be available here. Any questions so far? So this is the automatic way of creating case when you are submitting a form in your website. Okay. Second is email to case. This is email to case. Here also you have to enable email to case. If you enable email to case, there are two ways email to case in Salesforce works. One is called normal email to case, and which another called enable on demand email to case. On demand email to case means there is only the Salesforce server. That means you can directly send a mail to a Salesforce email ID whenever you click it. So you can set up everything in Salesforce. So there is a Salesforce email ID which is generated by Salesforce. So basically all the mails which is coming to Salesforce will automatically be created as a case. So email subject line will become the case subject line. And there is some logic in which you can identify who is the case owner and stuff, or who is this case coming from. But you can also use the email of your server. That means your Outlook. If you are using Outlook or you are using Gmail, whatever is your organization's default email server, you can set up an email relay from there. So some people are like login, sending mail to support@airtel.com. That airtel.com will internally transfer to Salesforce email ID, and then this case will be created automatically. Okay, so email to case is a little more work, but on demand email to case is lesser work because it does not go via your email server. Any questions? So this is also an automatic way of creating case. Now, both web to case and email to case are automatic way of creating case. But who will become the case owner? There is nobody sitting in call center watching automatic case getting created, right? So who will be the case owner? Any ideas?
Sir, that,
So there are like 10 people who are working on case, right? Who are basically there in the call center. So which person will become the case owner for any case which is getting created from email or any case which is automatically getting created from website?
The user
Which user?
The customer support team.
service.
Customer support team, which is a nice reply. But how will I make sure? Customer support team might be 10 people. So who will be the case owner?
So the manager, sir. Customer support team manager.
Manager
will
never works. In which company have you seen manager working?
I mean, sir, he will get the all of the cases and he will distribute it to the team.
Which is the overhead for him. So that is not a good way of doing it. So here there is a concept called queues coming to it. Okay. What is a queue? Queue is just like public group of users. The only difference is that queue can be owners. So let me create a my queue. Okay. I can set up a common email also for this queue, and I can individually send mails to members also. Whenever a case is assigned to a queue, automatically all the people who are inside that queue can also get mails. This queue can be used in multiple objects. So case is one of the object, right? You can use that same case for same queue for other things also, right? This is the full list. What I can do, I can add the users individually, or I can use public groups, adding inside the queues, roles, hierarchy, anything. So however I make the queues is the same. So what I can do now is that in support settings, I can use these queues. It cannot be only one. You can create multiple queues. You see, one is a default owner of a case. What is saying? The default owner of a case when assignment rules fails to locate an owner. I will come to assignment rule. First, you can make any user a default case owner. This big person will be the case owner for any web to lead, web to case or email to case. Okay, if there is no assignment rule. or assignment rule is not able to assign to anybody else. What is assignment rule? I will come to that. You can also make this a queue. That means a group of users. Instead of giving it to one person, you have given it to a group of users. So my queue. Yeah, I can assign to queue. Please remember, if there is a user who is a default case owner, that user cannot be deactivated. Straight away certification question. Okay. Any user who is the default
আরেকবার
case
বলবেন
owner,
স্যার?
any user who has been assigned as a default case owner cannot be deactivated. Clear? Now let's see what is the assignment rule. Assignment rule is basically whenever there is a case coming from web or email, I can do a step-by-step process of assigning it to different people based on different situations. Case assignment rule. There is a standard rule already in place. What I do is, you see, order is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means step by step. First, if I am able to assign somebody in step 1, then that's it. There is no need to run step 2, 3, 4, 5. If I am not able to do assignment in step 1, then I will move to step 2. I can't do it on step 3, then I will move to step 3. Okay, so that's how it works. And what does it do? I will check the fields, different kinds of fields. In the case, there's the account, right? Account lookup. In account lookup, I'm checking the billing country. I'm seeing that if it is a United States account case, on the case there is an account and the account belongs to United States and it's a gold and platinum member. In that case, probably I will assign it to a person called an image match. Or I can have a special US queue. If it does not belong to this part, then I will take it to step 2. I will assign it to other group or other person. So step by step process I can go through, check different field values of the case, different field values of account or contacts. Because on the case there is 2 lookups, right? Account lookup is also there, contact lookup is also there. So you will get all the account fields, contact fields, and case fields to check. And based on different situation conditions, you can assign it to different kinds of people or queues. Okay, when all these runs and still assignment cannot happen, then it will be assigned to whom? No idea? এই তো দেখালাম ডিফল্ট কেস ওনার is there. So first assignment rule works. It's a step-by-step process, and I will try to assign the new case which has been created through either email to case or web to case, and I will check based on different criteria. Can I assign it to different people? If I am not able to assign to different people, then it is assigned to default case only. Any questions? Yes, silent হয়ে গেল কেন? নাকি মাথার উপর দিয়ে যাচ্ছে?
না স্যার, দেখতে পাচ্ছি।
Second part is whenever there is a email to case and there is a web to case, it is very good idea that you also give a notification to your customer that there is a new case that has been created. That gives confidence, right? That is called auto response rules. Another rule. This is also step by step process, same, which you created like which you did in assignment rule. But this is a process in which you can you say that what is the rule entry? You will say that sort order first step, and I will say that if it is case reason is or case origin, basically I will probably Case origin. Maybe the case origin is web, and I will probably say specify the name who is auto response from this user. You can set up a new email ID through org-wide email addresses, verify it, and you can send the mail from that email ID, and you can use the email template. So any email template which you can create, that is a case response email template already created for you. So you will just send it to the people, right?
স্যার বলছি একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল ওই
হুম।
ভ্যালুটাতে ওয়েবের সাথে আর কিছু মানে মাল্টিপল অ্যাড করে নাকি সিঙ্গেল সিঙ্গেল করতে হয়?
Why not? You will say that I will send this response to web and email both.
ওকে
So you can have diverse responses for diverse kind of situation, diverse kind of things. But the whole idea is to send the customer the details that your case has been created. So that will give, this is for the customer notification, okay? This is not for your internal people. Internal people, whoever you are assigning the case, will get notified through what? Assignment rule. Right? So it is assigned to them through a queue. Then that checkbox inside the queue send mails to users that needs to be ticked. Then only they will get an automatic mail. But if you want to send a notification to customer, then you have to use this one, auto response rules. This is not for internal people. That means not for seller users. This is only for customers. That is the buyers. Clear? Auto response rules. Third rule is escalation rule. This is very important, very critical, because every organization will have a SLA with their buyer. SLA is what? Service level agreement. Something like a contract. What is a contract? The contract will be defining how much time can you take to resolve my problems or queries. Resolve my means the buyer's problems. Every buyer, when it is doing a corporate deal, will also define a SLA. They will say, if there is a high priority issue, you have to solve it within 1 hour. You have to solve it very. You can solve it in 1 hour. If there is a medium priority issue, then you have to solve it in 4 hours. If there is a low priority issue, you can solve it within a week. These timelines are called SLAs, service level agreements. What if you do not follow this as a selling organization? If you are in violation of this SLAs, what will happen? Any idea? Try guessing. You are contractually obligated to a buyer to provide service on time. What happens if you fail to provide service on time? Contract violation কি হয়?
স্যার এটা একটা এসএলএ তে সব লেখা থাকে কি মানে 99% এত এসএলএ থাকে এরকম থাকে যেগুলো
ভায়োলেশনে হবে কি, মানে তুমি যদি ভায়োলেট করো কি হবে?
তাহলে স্যার আমাকে পে করতে হবে স্যার এরকম একটা
পেনাল্টি দিতে হবে।
এক্স্যাক্টলি স্যার
ফিনান্সিয়াল পেনাল্টি। ফিনান্সিয়াল পেনাল্টি যদি না দিতে পারো, জেল হবে। The buyer will take you to court. Buyer will take you to court.
আচ্ছা
Severe consequences হতে পারে। Either you give monetary penalty because buyer is losing money. They will not be kind to you. Right? They also have a business. They are dependent on you for this service level agreements. If you are not on time, they are also suffering. So if they have a critical business to work on and they need your support, as a selling organization, you are obligated to provide support on time. Otherwise, they will lose business and they will take that money from you if they lose business. And if you are not able to provide that, they will take you to court. Okay. So it is very, very critical that if I have contractually obligated myself to provide service level agreements, I have an internal process that I do not breach it. Okay, that is the whole job of case escalation rules. What is escalation? If my low level employees or customer care representatives are not able to solve a case within a stipulated time, I will straight away move the ownership of the case to his or her boss. If they are not able to solve it, I will move the case owner to higher boss and higher boss and higher boss till I found a resolution. Clear? That is the whole idea of a case escalation. Let's see how it works. So first, based on different sort order, you will have these actions defined. What are the rule? These are rule entry criteria, and then every rule entry criteria will have actions. So if you go to this, you'll see after 2 hours and 0 minutes, it will be automatically assigned to my boss. So if I have not been able to solve this case within 2 hours, this will automatically get assigned to my boss. And it can be, it can when I go on. So it's a time factor associated to it also, right? So you'll say you have different service level agreements, right? After 6 hours, these are assigned to somebody else. So case escalation rules is basically automatic assignment of the cases to higher users, powerful users who can resolve a case so that you do not breach SLA. Your organization does not breach SLA. Clear? So 3 kinds of rules we discussed which can work on case. Please give me the names which we just discussed. What are the 3 rules? Which is automation. These rules are basically automations, which is firing on case. What are standard automations which can fire on a case? বলো। সব ঘুমিয়ে পড়েছে নাকি সব ভুলে যাচ্ছে? দীপাঞ্জন বলো।
কিউ একটা আছে স্যার।
কিউটা অটোমেশন কোথায় হলো? কিউ, হোয়াট ইজ কিউ? What is a queue?
Sir, if customer are going to complain or escalate anything, so we will create a like automation. We will create a group or a queue like a setup like that. So we will add some of the user and so the complaint will.
What is a queue? What is a queue? এটা ডিফাইন করো আগে।
Queue
What?
like sir waiting line like.
That is fine. What is a waiting? Waiting line means in Salesforce terms বলো। What is a queue? বলো দীপাঞ্জন। What is a queue?
স্যার দীপাঞ্জন দা মেসেজ করছে।
Group of users. As simple as that. Queue is a group of users. তো গ্রুপ অফ ইউজার্স আর একটা এন্টিটিও আছে ইন সেলসফোর্স। What is that? Apart from queues, there is another entity in Salesforce which is also a group of users. ওটার নাম কি?
Public users,
পাবলিক গ্রুপ।
public group.
তাহলে পাবলিক গ্রুপ আর কিউ এর মধ্যে তফাৎটা কি? ওটাও গ্রুপ অফ ইউজার্স, কিউটাও গ্রুপ অফ ইউজার্স, দুটোর মধ্যে কি তফাৎ? বলো দীপাঞ্জন বলো। কিউ ক্যান কন্টেন পাবলিক গ্রুপ এগ্রিড। পাবলিক গ্রুপের মধ্যেও পাবলিক গ্রুপ থাকতে পারে, তো এটা ডিফারেন্স হলো না। Queue can have public groups inside it. Public groups can also have public groups inside it. তাহলে কি তফাৎ? কিউ আর পাবলিক এর মধ্যে কি তফাৎ? বলো বিকাশ। বিকাশ ঘুমাচ্ছে।
না স্যার,
বলো পাবলিক আর কিউ আর পাবলিকের মধ্যে কি তফাৎ?
So public group is basically related to user, sir, basically.
দুটোই তো গ্রুপ অফ ইউজার, রিলেটেড টু ইউজার মানে কি?
I mean,
What is the difference between a queue and a public group?
public group is a kind of team or group of related to user which is share the data individually. I mean,
পাবলিক গ্রুপও তো সেম পারপাসে তৈরি হয়েছে। পাবলিক গ্রুপ আমরা কোথায় ইউজ করেছিলাম এর আগে? Where did we use public group?
সিকিউরিটি স্যার।
সিকিউরিটিতে কি হয়েছিল, কি করেছিলাম, কোন কোন সিকিউরিটি টুলে আমরা পাবলিক গ্রুপ ইউজ করেছিলাম?
Sharing rules.
শেয়ারিং রুল, অ্যাবসলিউটলি গ্রেট, ফ্যান্টাস্টিক। একদমই পড়ছে, সিনেমা দেখছে। শেয়ারিং রুলে পাবলিক গ্রুপটা ইউজ হচ্ছে, সেটা ডেটা শেয়ারিংই হচ্ছে। তাহলে তো কিউ এর কাজটা পাবলিক গ্রুপ, তুমি যেটা বললে শুভম, ইটস অলরেডি ডান বাই শেয়ারিং রুল, ডেটা শেয়ারিং। প্রিয়াঙ্কা বলো, what is the difference between queue and public group? Queue can own a record, a public group
Sir.
cannot own a record. এটাই ডিফারেন্স। ownership of a record can be with a queue. সেই কিউ এর মধ্যে যে ইউজারটা কাজ করবে সে তখন নিজেকে ওনার বানিয়ে নেবে। বাট টিল a specific user is working on a record, a queue can be the owner of the record. Public group cannot be used as ownership.
Okay, sir.
ঠিক আছে, বলো এবার, what are the automation rules that can fire on a case? যেগুলো দেখলাম আমরা তিনটে অটোমেশন রুল ক্যান ফায়ার অন a case, সেটাও নাম বলে দিলাম। কি কি নামগুলো বলো এবার।
ওয়েব মেল
অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট রুলস দীপাঞ্জন বলে দিয়েছে। গুড, হোয়াট নেক্সট? মনে রাখার জন্য AAE মাথায় রাখবো, তাহলেই হয়ে যাবে। AAE মানে রুলের নামগুলো স্টার্টিং গুলো বলে দিলাম, অ্যান্সার গুলো দাও। প্রথম একটা বলে দিয়েছে দীপাঞ্জন, অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট রুল। অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট রুলের কি কাজ? What does that assignment rule does? Assign users, of course. সব রকম কেসে কি এটা হবে? Will it assign all cases or specific kind of cases? Which cases will have assignment rules firing? When there is no owner, okay? Well, when is there is no owner? Which type kind of cases has no owner? No, it will assign owner, that is fine. But which automated case entries? Yes. What are the different ways in which you can automate case? তার মানে when the case is creating automatically, that time I do not have owner, because if it is manually created, then it will definitely have a owner, right? The creator of the case also becomes the owner of the case. So when the case is created automatically, then only there is no owner, and then only you need assignment rule. So web to case and email to case are only two ways in which you can automate a case. right? When there is automation of case happening, then only you need assignment rules. So assignment rules will then decide the owner who will own that case. Bolo, what is the next automation?
Sir,
Sir,
escalation
automated
rules.
response to customer rule.
Auto
Automatic response to customer rule.
Sir, escalation rules.
exact নামটা বলো। Automatic response to customer is the right answer, কিন্তু রুলটার নাম বলো, ঠিক করে নামটা বলো। Auto response rules. তাহলে auto response rules, what is the job of auto response rules? What do we do with auto response rules?
Only used for customer purpose.
To create response to customers. Simple. To user noy Dipanjan. User is a person who is logging into Salesforce.
Customer only.
Yes, we have to use that. It not response to users. User is a person who is logging into Salesforce. Do not use the term user. User, customer will never be a user. কাস্টমারও ইউজার হতে পারে ইন স্পেশাল সিচুয়েশন। তার জন্য আরেকটা প্রোডাক্ট আছে সেলসফোর্সের, সেটার নাম হচ্ছে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স ক্লাউড। আউট অফ আওয়ার টপিক অফ ডিসকাশন টুডে, ওটা দিয়ে কাস্টমার পোর্টাল তৈরি করা যায়। ঠিক আছে, ডোন্ট কনফিউজ ইয়োরসেলফ উইথ দ্যাট। সেলসফোর্সের ইন্টারনাল লগইন, এই কোনো কাস্টমার আসবে না। Nobody will log into Salesforce. No customer will log into Salesforce. Clear? তাহলে ইউজার মানে আমি সবসময় ইন্টারনাল এমপ্লয়ি, ইন্টারনাল স্টাফ হিসেবে দেখব, সেলার অর্গানাইজেশনের অনলি। ওকে, তাহলে অটো রেসপন্স রুলস ইজ সেন্ডিং ইমেল মেসেজেস টু কাস্টমার্স আন্ডার ডিফারেন্ট সিচুয়েশন, ডিফারেন্ট কন্ডিশনস। ক্রাইটেরিয়া আমরা ডিফাইন করতে পারি, কি ধরনের মেল পাঠাবো সেটাও ডিফাইন করতে পারি। What are the third automation?
Sir, escalation rules, sir.
Escalation. What is that needed for?
Sir, যখন কোনো কেস I mean কোনো rules
Escalate the problem within a limit.
Within a time, correct. কেন করবো এটা? এই এত ঝক্কি নেব কেন? Why it is needed?
because of TAT, sir.
Because of
TAT.
কি TAT মানে?
TAT মানে স্যার ওই হয় না, টাইমের মধ্যে রিপ্লাই না দিলে ওটাকে এসএল এর আন্ডারে চলে যায়।
এসএলএ ব্রিচ যাতে না হয়।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
সার্ভিস লেভেল এগ্রিমেন্ট ব্রিচ যেন না হয়, তার জন্য ইন্টারনাল প্রসেস কেস এসকেলেশন রুল উইল মেক শিওর দ্যাট আই ডু নট, অ্যাজ এ সেলার অর্গানাইজেশন, আই ডু নট সাফার ফ্রম এনি এসএলএ ভায়োলেশনস।
এক্স্যাক্টলি স্যার।
ক্লিয়ার? এবার অটোমেটিক কেস তাহলে আমি তৈরি করতে পারছি ওয়েব টু কেস দিয়ে, ইমেল টু কেস দিয়ে, আর ম্যানুয়ালি কেস আমি তৈরি করতে পারছি কি কি অ্যাপ দিয়ে? What are the different apps we saw today through which you can create a case manually? Hey Bhagwan, সেলস অ্যাপ দিয়ে কি আমি কেস তৈরি করতে পারবো?
সার্ভিস দিয়ে।
সার্ভিস অ্যাপ, সার্ভিস এন্ড সার্ভিস কন্ট্রোল।
ইয়েস স্যার।
সেলস অ্যাপে কেস নেই। সেলসের সময় সেলস পিপল উইল ওয়ার্ক, আর কেসের সময় কাস্টমার সার্ভিস উইল ওয়ার্ক। দুটো আলাদা টিম, ইউজুয়ালি একই লোক দুটো কাজ করে না। আজকাল এনগেজমেন্ট ম্যানেজার বলে একটা টার্ম এসছে, এখন যারা সেলসম্যান তারাই আবার সার্ভিসও প্রোভাইড করে, এখন মডেলটা পাল্টাচ্ছে। কেন কি কাস্টমার কমপ্লেন করে আপনার সেলসম্যান আমায় এমন কিছু বেচে দিয়ে বেরিয়ে গেল, তারপরে আপনার কাস্টমার কেয়ার বলছে যে এটা হয় না স্যার। ওসব বললে হবে না, আপনার সেলসম্যানকেই আমায় দিতে হবে, সেই যেন আমার ইমপ্লিমেন্টেশনও করে দেয় এবং কোনো প্রবলেম হলে আমি তাকেই ধরব। দ্যাটস ওয়াই sometimes now organizations are shifting to one point of contact. So সেই সেলস করবে, সেই সার্ভিস করবে। রিলায়েন্স জিওফিও এই মডেলে চলে গেছে। ইটস এনগেজমেন্ট ম্যানেজার মডেল, মানে the person who is selling is also a person who is taking care of your problems. ঠিক আছে, বাট আগে ইউজুয়ালি ইট ইজ এ ডিফারেন্ট টিম। যেমন এয়ারটেলে people who will sell you the SIM card are not the people who will be responsible for your problems, right? That's a different team. So we have the service console and দুটোই কিন্তু a case object is it has a lookup with account, it has a lookup with contact, তার মানে account বা contact record এ গেলে you can see the cases there as a related list. ঠিক আছে, ডিফল্ট কেস ওনারটা কে? Where do you need a default case owner?
স্যার কিউই স্যার।
কিউ না, ইউজারও হতে পারে। ডিফল্ট কেস ওনার ক্যান বি এ ইউজার, ক্যান বি এ কিউ। ঠিক আছে, বাট ওয়্যার ইজ ইট ইউজড? Why do you need it? বলো, why do you need a default case owner? If assignment rule is not able to assign to a specific owner and going through all the steps, then default case owner will become the owner of the case for automated cases only. এটা fallback plan. কাউকে অ্যাসাইন করতে পারলাম না, default case owner will be the person who will get assigned. And that is also the reason why default case owner cannot be deactivated. Clear holo? That is all we had today. Case থেকে অনেক কোশ্চেন আসবে, অ্যাডমিন সার্টিফিকেশন যদি করতে চাও, be careful. This class is absolutely critical. So revise it thoroughly, and if you want to give admin certification, please get in touch with Shovan. You will arrange separate sessions for admin preparation. If you want to move to advanced classes, please complete your trailheads, and then we will have a evaluation round. There will be external evaluators who will take interviews, and they will gauge how prepared you are with this admin. If you are well prepared, then we'll move on to the advanced course. Advanced course can be development. Advanced course can be any advanced topics, advanced admin or like velocity or anything else. Vanilla admin is not good enough to get a job. Okay. এখনো পর্যন্ত আমরা ভ্যানিলা অ্যাডমিন শেষ করলাম। So please buck up, please give time, please finish it all, then sit for the interview. It's an internal evaluation through which we'll gauge that you are prepared and your admin is fine. Then we'll move on to the advanced class. That is all we had today. Any questions before we close?
সেই ইভ্যালুয়েশনটা কবে হবে?
তুমি বলবে জলদি হবে, whenever you are ready. It's your decision when to sit for evaluation.
সেই
Okay.
পরে এক্স এক্টলে স্যার
সরি,
কোডিং এর স্যার ওটা কবে?
তুমি যেটা করতে চাইছো সেটা ডিসকাস করা যাবে আলাদা করে। তুমি আগে ইভ্যালুয়েশন রাউন্ডটা ক্লিয়ার না করলে কিছুই হবে না।